Howdy, folks. High Value DMD. Don't just give me your subscription, but please let me earn it. Let me earn your like and let me earn your comment. All eyes of our nation are on the great state of Florida. I had the honor and the privilege of spending 5 years of my life in Florida. I did some of my postgraduate education and then I continued on and did my dental school in Florida. And while I was there, I saw most of the state. I lived in the panhandle of Florida. I lived in southwest Florida. I spent time in the Florida Keys. I saw St. Augustine. I saw Daytona Beach. I saw Jupiter, Florida. I made the absolute most of it that I could. And it saddens me to see the hurricanes that are hitting Florida. For instance, the last hurricane that came through just a week and a half ago went straight into one of the places that I love the most, and that's Anna Maria Island. Absolutely took it out, flattened a lot of the island. A ton of the businesses are gone, the houses are gone, there's sand everywhere. It's a total and complete mess. And as we know, if you've been following the news, it made its way up into Georgia and several other states that I love as well, South Carolina and North Carolina. Those are states also that I'd love to live in. North Carolina, South Carolina especially. But Florida got whacked really bad, and now we're looking at a second hurricane. After Hurricane Helene, we have Hurricane Milton. It is coming, it's going to be hitting, as this video uploads, it'll be hitting in a couple hours after that. And I just basically want to make this video to stand kind of and show solidarity with Floridians. I am not a Floridian. I do have a Florida driver's license, but I am a Texan, and I will always be a Texan. But for the time, I was an honorary Floridian, and I sympathize with the state so much. It means so much to me. It has a special place in my heart. For one, I met my fiance in Florida, and for two, I went to Florida seeking something. I was seeking a place to start over in life, in a way. I had finished college and I was trying to get into dental school in any way that I could. And I found that refuge in Florida during COVID. And I try not to get into too much politics on this channel, but I loved the leadership of Florida during COVID. It was great. The nature of Florida, going to the beach. Me and my buddies would go to Anna Maria Island all the time. Bean Point Beach, we would fish. We do land-based shark fishing off of that island. I would kayak off that island in and around Tampa Bay, going up into St. Petersburg, Florida. Wonderful, wonderful experience. Just a beautiful place. I can't emphasize it enough. And some people have bad things to say about the state. But I tell you, it's everything and then some. Those people that say negative things, they don't know anything about it. They've never been there. They've never spent a significant amount of time there. I know Floridians are a strong group. When you meet a Floridian, odds are they weren't born there. They're usually a transplant. And there's a fair few from New York and New Jersey, but usually those people are people that are escaping a certain different way of life, and they're seeking a more free way of life, you could say. But Floridians are there, mostly they're all transplants, and they're seeking something new together. And I was able to do that with them, so to speak, with my cohort of classmates in dental school. They're strong people, and they will get through this. They will rebuild, and they will start over, as Americans always do. As Americans, from the beginning of our country, we carved out a life and we carved out a path for ourselves. As we expanded out west through this country, we built this country through grit and determination, seeking a better way of life, seeking freedom from taxation from England. That was early on in the United States. Seeking freedom from religious persecution. That was early on in the United States, and that was certain people that expanded out west into Utah. And you, if you're watching, you know who you folks are. Through grit and determination, we have always persevered. We have always been winners, so to speak. And I know the great state of Florida will be able to bounce back from this great tragedy that is about to happen. The hurricane is about to come straight over your heads if you guys live out there. I hope that if you live in Southwest Florida, I hope that you have evacuated. I hope you did not stay. Especially if you live right near the coast. That is not the place to be. It is not a time to say you're courageous. It is not a time to be macho. There is a time when you have to retreat. There is a time during a battle that you have to retreat, but you come back later and you will win the war. Kind of cheesy to say, but I don't know how else to say it. Florida will rebuild. Florida will bounce back stronger than ever. And I know with the leadership of that state of the government of the state of Florida that Floridians are in good hands and that there's no need to be afraid. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot in front of you to get back to where you were before. But I know that you will build back better and that you will continue to enjoy that wonderful state that we both love. And with that, I will leave you. Let me know what you think below. Have you ever been to Florida? Have you ever lived in Florida? Do you live in Florida now? Have you been impacted by Hurricane Helene? Have you been impacted? Are you going to be impacted by Hurricane Milton? Let me know what you think below. I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like, and I hope I earned your comment. Until next time.